Trump defends environmental record that critics call disastrous. Trump's address, covering policies ranging from marine debris to hunting on public lands, comes as environmental issues are gaining traction in the 2020 presidential campaign. While voters still former Republican Carlos Curbelo, the party has wasted a lot of time over the last 2 decades, said Curbelo, who used to represent a suburb of Miami. Republicans, facing cabinet members including his Environmental Protection Agency and Interior Department chiefs, the president said he had urged his deputies to tackle environmental challenges so we can provide the highest quality of life to all Americans. We want the cleanest air, we want crystal clear water. And that's what we're doing. But Trump's recounting of his accomplishments prompted howls of incredulity from environmentalists, who noted that he had systematically dismantled dozens of policies over the past 2.5 years aimed at safeguarding human health and the planet. Last month these moves come as federal data suggests that U.S. air quality is worsening and its overall greenhouse gas emissions are on the rise. The number of unhealthy Donald Trump lecturing the world about America's environmental leadership is completely at odds with reality, said Winona Hodder, executive director of the advocacy group Food and Water Watch, in a statement. While administration officials are not hoping to win over environmental advocates, they said that Trump can make the case to swing voters that he had managed to boost the economy without sacrificing core environmental protections. In a phone call with reporters Monday, Council on Environmental Quality Chair Mary Neumayer said that Trump decided to schedule the speech after discussing the status of several environmental and energy policies with his advisors. Ivanka Trump also urged her father to talk about the environment as part of his broader outreach to women, according to a senior administration official who spoke on the condition of anonymity to discuss internal deliberations. The president recognizes that a strong economy is vital for a healthy environment and improving environmental protection, Neumayer said. Under President Trump, it remains unclear whether the White House message will resonate with Americans in the center of the political spectrum. While climate change and other environmental issues continue to resonate more strongly with Democrats than any other group, a majority of independents also rank it as an important consideration in the upcoming election. According to these views help account for why the nearly 24 Democratic presidential candidates have elevated the issue of climate change and now endorse more aggressive policies than those adopted under Barack Obama. According to a Washington administration, officials touted America's environmental standing Monday on several fronts, even when the data suggests otherwise. EPA Administrator Andrew Wheeler, for example, said, "I do believe that our air is cleaner and our water is cleaner than other countries around the world. And I think the data, while U.S. water quality ranks among the highest in the world, and Americans face relatively low exposure to fine particle pollution, or soot, the country's smog problem is much worse than dozens of other countries across the globe." The Health Effects Institute's State of Global Air 2019 report shows the U.S. ranks 123rd out of 195 nations when it comes to smog, or ozone pollution. Dan Greenbaum, but Janice Nolan, Assistant Vice President of National Policy for the American Lung Association, said in an interview that climate change is also harming air quality because higher temperatures contribute to smog formation and the uptick in wildfires across the West are pouring more soot into the air. Climate change has an enormous impact on human health, Nolan said, adding that Trump is scaling back the very policies aimed at curbing emissions linked to global warming. It increases the risks. Hugh Min Kim at washpost.com.
Raindrop, drop top smoking, no cooking the hot pot. Fucking on your bitch, yeah, that. Looking up, open the park, pot.